Good evening. My name is Kevin Barton. During the course of the semester, we learned much about Agile software development. For my research, I wanted to focus on the differences between the key roles in management for Agile projects, including project managers, Scrum Masters, and product owners. As we'll see, while each of these roles brings a unique skill set to the project, there are also many similarities among the roles. Companies that use Agile methodologies often eliminate the classic project manager role, instead distributing those responsibilities to the product owner, Scrum Master, or development team. For example, responsibility for trade-offs between scope and schedule pass to the product owner, while quality management becomes the duty of the team. In addition, responsibility for the project's success is transferred to the team. Mike Cohn, a prominent author on Agile development methodologies and Scrum in particular, makes a point of discussing the dangers of concentrating the Scrum Master and product owner roles into a single individual. In his opinion, these roles have competing interests, and the person will not have much success trying to accomplish both. For example, the product owner will try to request the team include more features in a given sprint, while it is the Scrum Master's job to push back on this so that the team is not overloaded. While many organizations that adopt Agile eliminate the PM role, some hold on to it because of the many core attributes a project has that may still be best managed by this position. In a hybrid development approach, the team may start a project in a classic Agile sense, developing software while they work to understand where the final deliverables will be. Once the team has a firm understanding of what they need to develop, those requirements can be expressed in documentation, and the team can transition to using a waterfall method. The traditional project manager role also has a place on large-scale Agile projects. The project may be broken down into several large components, and the project manager oversees all of them, ensuring that the pieces are delivered on time, within cost, and successfully integrated. An example of this type of project is a SaaS product developed by 4 teams. Finally, some organizations retain a single project manager to watch over several distinct projects at a time. Here, as a portfolio manager, the PM is not directly tied to any one team, and is mainly watching out for scheduling, cost, and product concerns across all of the projects. In Agile development, the team accomplishes the work of a project in a repeating, cyclic fashion. Each of these complete cycles is called an iteration. The team will first analyze the work that needs to be accomplished for the given cycle, then plan how to do it. They will design, develop, and test the software, releasing it at the close of the cycle. During an iteration and over the life of a project, the duties of the product owner, Scrum Master, and project manager are also cyclic and mirror this life cycle. For the product owner, much of their time early in a project is spent researching, including customer research, UX research, and understanding the business case for the overall product. The product owner translates the features necessary for a successful product into stories, developing those required for the first iterations in detail, and leaving those for future iterations less defined. These then become the product backlog. At the start of an iteration, the product owner assists the team in sprint planning to estimate the complexity of stories and the tasks that will be required to support their development. During the iteration, the product owner maintains strong communication with the team to ensure the stories meet the product requirements and communicates with internal and external stakeholders about the status of the project. The product owner meets regularly with the project's customer to gain feedback on completed work. They use this feedback to groom the product backlog, changing the priority of some stories, removing others, and adding additional stories as they emerge. As the product nears completion, the product owner works with internal resources to prepare for the release. This may include providing input and feedback on marketing materials, assisting customer support in drafting documentation, educating the sales division about the product, and meeting with the customers to show the product. The Scrum Master works with the product owner during initiation, fleshing out the backlog and communicating with the product owner about the team's capacity. This allows the product owner to better prioritize the backlog and select the best mix of stories for the next iteration. At the start of a project, the Scrum Master has little information on which to base the capacity of the team. The team will fine-tune this value over the life of the project, and the amount of work that they can accomplish during a sprint will begin to normalize. Author Mike Cohn comments that, at the start of each new iteration, an Agile team incorporates all new knowledge gained in the preceding iteration and adapts accordingly. During a sprint planning, The Scrum Master works with the team to ensure that stories are broken down into supporting tasks, that the stories are understood, and that the team commits to delivering the completed stories at the close of the iteration. The Scrum Master helps conduct the daily stand-up meetings, track team status, and communicates the daily burn down or burn up charts to the team and management. The Scrum Master should also hold occasional retrospective meetings at the end of an iteration to allow the team to provide feedback and make the development process more efficient. As the product nears release, the Scrum Master works closely with the product owner to groom the backlog and decide which features must make it into the finished product. Here, the Scrum Master is responsible for protecting the team, ensuring that they are not pushed over capacity and that the project releases on schedule. At the start of a project, the project manager generally plays a large role in initiation, kicking off the project internally and externally, working to build the project team, and developing early documentation such as a project schedule and budget. Once the project moves into development, the PM's role takes on an oversight position. Project progress will be closely tracked, and the status of the project will be communicated internally to both the team and management. The PM may hold regular meetings with the project's customer, which can be either internal or external, gaining feedback on the project's progress. On large, multi-team projects, the PM will facilitate discussions among the teams to ensure integration points are well managed. The PM will also keep a watchful eye on the project's burn rate, indicating how well it is progressing along the schedule and at what cost. In the release phase, the project manager will coordinate delivery of the completed product to the customer. This may involve external acceptance or compliance testing at the customer site. It is important that relevant documentation for the project is archived so that the organization has a record for future use if product maintenance is required. Finally, the PM should conduct a lessons learned or post-mortem with the team. All too often a team forgoes this last step, but a good project manager will ensure the team holds this crucial meeting and that the results are shared within the organization. In discussing the roles of the project manager, product owner, and Scrum Master throughout the Agile software development lifecycle, we have covered what each role does during the different phases. While there are many differences between the roles, we have also covered many areas where they overlap. One such area is that of communication. Each of the roles is responsible for communicating heavily with their project team, but also with those external to that team. Another area of overlap between the roles is in their supportive position to the team. Each of the roles actively serves the team, helping to provide insight, resources, risk mitigation, and other capabilities that the team requires to be successful. Finally, the roles overlap in their ability to manage the scope of a project, though the motivations differ. As a project manager, the prime concern is often completing the project on schedule, but certain features may necessitate that concern being overridden. The product owner, acting in the interest of the customer, can act similarly, reducing the features on a product in order to hit a release date, or increasing the scope by adding emergent features that must be accomplished in order to have a successful product. The Scrum Master is unique in that their interest lies in doing what is best for the team, and is generally focused on ensuring the scope of the project remains stable, because the team committed to completing a certain amount of work in a certain time frame. The team's success will be judged against this commitment. Before Agile development became popular, most software projects were accomplished using the waterfall methodology. The classic project manager role worked to develop extensive requirements documentation, was responsible for project success, and managed the areas of scope, cost, schedule, risk, and quality. In Agile, these responsibilities can be distributed amongst the product owner, Scrum Master, and team. However, on many projects, an Agile project manager is still desirable, particularly if the project is large in scope and has many integration points. In smaller organizations, the roles of a project manager, product owner, and Scrum Master may be blended and assigned to one or two individuals. This can be successful, but is highly dependent on the individual, as it is difficult to manage the competing interests. For this reason, it is instead generally best for the company, the customer, the product, and the team that there are dedicated individuals to occupy these roles. Thank you, and good evening.